Hey guys, it's the Junior Coder, and welcome back to the Intro to Tkinter tutorial series. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to work with checkboxes in Tkinter. So let's get right into it. So in the last video, we did this piece of code. So mainly, we learned about horizontal and vertical scales or sliders. So right now, we just made a horizontal and vertical one. And then if we run it, as you can see, horizontal one, if you change it, the value changes up to 200, because here we do from 0 to 200. You can change that whatever you want. And then same for the vertical one, 0 to 200. So in this tutorial, we'll be learning about checkboxes. So we're not going to need this piece of code. We already imported everything, so we don't need to import checkboxes. It's already imported. So first, we're going to make a checkbox. So let's just do my checkbox equals, it's called a check button. It's already imported, as you can see. And then now we have to put it in root, and then the text is, we can do whatever we want. We'll do check this box. Let's do that. Okay, so check this box, and then so now we have to make a variable, but not a function. For checkboxes, it's either 0 or 1. It's a variable. Okay, so that's called variable. So variable equals, we'll do anything we want. We'll call it, we'll just call it variable like that. And then we have to do an on value and off value. So when it's checked and when it's not checked, what to do. So the on value, you can do whatever you want. I'll just say button checked. And then for the off value, I'll do button not checked. Okay, so just like that. Now we have to make the variable. So before that, we have to make a variable. We have to call that variable var, because that's what we did here. That's short for variable. And then equals. So now both these errors go away. And then it's a empty string variable. So this is how you make an empty string variable. And this changes based on if it's checked or not. So 0, 1. So when it's 0, that means it's off. So when it's not checked, this variable equals button not checked. It's a string. And then when it is checked, this variable equals button checked. Both of them are strings. You can make this anything you want, but in this case, it's just a string. And then, so before we run it, or before we put that on the screen, we have to make sure it's not selected. So if you leave it selected and then run it again, it's automatically selected. But if you do deselect, so my checkbox dot deselect, and then we'll do my checkbox dot pack. Okay, and then now we make a button. So the basic idea is when we press that button, we'll see the variable. So the variable either will tell us if it's checked or if it's not checked. So let's do that now. Call that my button. We have to do, if it's more than two words, we have to separate it using underscore. That's why it's giving us an error. So my checkbox, that should work. No, like that. And then my button equals button, and then it is in root. Text equals would you like to see the variable? Okay, so or we could just do show my selection. That's better. And then as you know, for buttons, instead of a variable, you have a command. So command equals, we'll do show. And then instead of making a new line, this is also useful. So instead of doing my button dot pack, after this piece of line, you just do, so after doing this, you just do dot pack. So it's the same thing, but you're just saving yourself one line. So now we have to actually create a function or a command called show. So before everything, we'll create that. 2 blank lines after and before. So line 6, define show. So in this, make a label. My label. It is a label. And then in root the text, we're not setting it yet, but we're actually making it variable.get. So gets the information from that variable. Then after all of this, we simply pack onto the screen like we did over here. So this will get the variable's information and then put that variable into my label, which will actually pack it onto the screen. So basically, if we now run it, this should work. Everything should work perfectly fine. So let's do that now. App. Okay, so check this box. If I check it, show my selection, button checked. If I don't check it, button not checked. You can do that as many times as you want. And you can also resize your window. So we'll do root.geometry. Takes in 2 numbers. So it has to be a string and not an integer. We'll do 500 x 500. 2 blank lines. So now it should be way bigger. Check this box. Show my selection. Just like that. So that will be it for this video. If you learned something, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Keep a lookout for more videos in the Tkinter series. And I'll see you next time. Bye.